Hi Year 7, today what we're looking at is our first exercise on decimals, and so we are going to review decimals and what you know from primary school. So there are many decimals in society that are not whole numbers. It is unusual to buy items from a shop that is in whole dollars. For example, a chocolate bar that has a price of $1.85 is an example of a decimal number. A decimal point is used to separate the whole number from the fractional part. When dealing with decimal numbers, we extend the place values to the right of the decimal point. Each place value is getting smaller the further right it is. The number 428.357 means that we have 4 hundredths, 2 tens, 8 units, 3 tenths, 5 hundredths, and 7 thousandths. Now we can write this in many different ways. This number has 3 decimal places. In expanded form, which we have looked in term 1, this number would be written as 4 lots of 100 plus 2 lots of 10 plus 8 lots of 1 plus 3 lots of 1 over 10 plus 5 lots of 1 over 100 plus 7 lots of 1 over 1,000. Now, zeros within a decimal number are very important to hold the place value. For example, 1.012 and 1.12 are different numbers, so we must include a zero for place value that have no number value. Now, zeros at the end of a decimal do not change its value. For example, 2.5 is the same number as 2.500. The zeros at the end are not necessary. Let's have a look at some examples. So our first example here, we have what is the value of the 4 in each number. So if we look back up to our chart up above, we have that the first number after the decimal point stands for tenths, the second number after the decimal point stands for hundredths, and the third number after the decimal point stands for thousandths. So looking here, our first number is 12.04. Now what this 4 stands for is it's the second number after the decimal point, so it is 4 hundredths. In part B, we have the number 4 occurs here, and it is 3 places after the decimal point, so it stands for 4 thousandths. Alrighty, can we pause the video here and you guys have a go at what is the value in the 4 in each of the numbers? The first one is 1.4 and the next one is 24.032. Okay, hopefully you have all got the correct answers on your whiteboards and showing the teacher in front of you. So for the number 1.4, the 4 is the first number after the decimal point, so it stands for 4 tens. And for B, the 4 is the first number before the decimal point, and so it stands for 4 units. Okay, moving on. Now we want to write each sum as a decimal. So we need to change these fractions into decimals, and we have been given them as tenths or hundredths. Now, when we are writing each sum as a decimal, we have our whole numbers. So we have our 100 plus our 10 plus our units. Then we have our decimal point that occurs here, before we have our tenths plus our hundredths plus our thousandths. So this 2 over 10 means that it is the first number after our decimal point. So this number is going to be 0.2, and then that 7 is over 100. So that's the second number after the decimal point. So it's going to be 0.27. Now, for B, we have 5 plus 3 over 100 plus 1 over 1,000. So that 5 is before our decimal point. It is 5 units. We'll then have our decimal point. Now we have no tenths. So because we have no tenths, we're going to put a 0. We have 3 hundredths and we have 1 thousandths. Okay, can you guys have a go at writing each sum as a decimal? We have 3 tenths plus 8 hundredths. And we have 6 plus 4 hundredths plus 2 1,000ths. Pause the video here. Alrighty, Year 7, let's see how you went. So you should have had that 6 3 over 10 plus 8 over 100 is equal to 0.38 as a decimal. And 6 plus 4 over 100 plus 2 over 1,000 is equal to 6.042. Good job. Okay, our next one here is we want to write these fractions as decimals. So our first one is 2 and 5/10. So that is the same as writing having 2 wholes and 5 over 10. So this is going to be 2.5. So we have 2 wholes and we have 5/10. The next one here, we have 15 over 1,000. So this is the same as writing 0.015. And then we have 862 over 100. So we have 8 wholes, 0.62. So what we were really doing there is we're moving our decimal point from behind our 2 up 2 places to be behind our 8 there. Okay, can you please have a go at writing as a decimal 4 and 6/10, 32 over 1,000, and 973 over 100. Pause the video here. Okay, year 7, hopefully you've gotten these answers correct. So 4 and 6/10 is 4.6 as a decimal. Oh no, my pen. Okay, 32 over 1,000 is 0.032 as a decimal, and 973 over 100 is 9.73. What you guys are going to do now is in a moment you're going to get out your laptops and you're going to have a go at this exercise review of decimals. I will have highlighted which questions you are to do. I haven't just yet. And then once you're finished that exercise, you do have this worksheet that the teacher will hand out to you. This worksheet will be homework if you don't finish it in class. You also have your maths mate due today, so you will be handing that to the teacher for me now. Hope you have a good lesson.